Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and I'm back with the main man, Sam, to preview Aston Villa versus Liverpool. Make sure you smash that like button, hit the subscribe button. We've actually got past 5,300, so we need another graphic on the screen. But anyway, we're on the road to 6K. Ultimately, heading for 10K, so please do like, subscribe, and get your comments in. Your thoughts on the upcoming game on Wednesday night against Liverpool. Can we get the win? Can we have another big night at Villa Park? Sam, it's been a while, mate. Lots of eventful things happening in Sam's world. So, yes, we understand what's going down. Little bit tired, but great to have you on the pod, mate.
Yeah, there's nothing like trying to speak coherently when you're knackered and you've had no sleep for the last 4 weeks. So I'm going to do my best. But I have a question. You said ultimately we're trying to get to 10K. What happens then? Are we selling, Rich?
We're just finishing. Yeah. We're just going to finish. We review the goals and we go after 20K. That's what we do, mate. That's what we do.
Oh, there's too many people in the chat. I'm going to get roasted too much.
I know. I don't know how I'll be able to cope. My fingers will be on fire. Yeah.
You said they've been giving you some grief for your grey hairs as well.
They have. That's why I had to have my hair cut, you see, now, so people can't see it. But, yeah.
Well, it's either that or it's the Villa giving you some greys, right?
Well, yes, exactly. I mean, frustrating at the minute, isn't it? I mean, we have good performances against Tottenham in the FA Cup. We've obviously, before Christmas, we had a great performance against Man City, good rousing draw against Arsenal. And we, frustrating to not win the last, I think it's 2 points in the last 3 games. Is it home against West Ham, losing to Wolves, and then drawing against Ipswich, 10 men Ipswich, I might add as well. So frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, there's a theme you can look at it one of two ways, right? So either we only get ourselves up for those bigger games and everyone sort of goes for that, or against the bigger teams, they're sort of there to play a bit more and we don't have to break them down as much, which we seem to struggle with. It's what we struggle with against Ipswich, right? They put 10 men behind the ball, well, for as long as they had it, then they put 9 men behind the ball. And we just really struggled to break them down. And then there was an inspired debut goalkeeping performance. And it's strange because you never know which Villa's going to turn up, right? It's either, a worldie who look like we can beat anyone, or it's a team that can't break down a 10-man Ipswich. So, yeah, a bit tough at the moment.
It is, and it probably does lend itself to the thought that we might be a one-off game cup team this season. So you never know, mate. Champions League could be on the cards.
That's Unai's specialty, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's a cup manager, allegedly. I mean, he did pretty well in the league for us, so I'm not.
Yeah.
There'll be no Emery bashing on my watch, but I think he does prefer those sort of one-off game situations. And obviously, we saw what we did in the Conference League last year. We had a really good run there. So maybe this is it. It looks unlikely that we're going to get the Champions League now, even if it goes down to 5th with the coefficient. So maybe all the eggs in 2 baskets: the FA Cup and the Champions League.
Yeah. Well, if we are to have any hope of a top 5 finish, we've got to win the next 3 games, I would say, and they come in quick succession. The first one being Wednesday night against Liverpool. I mean, easy game, really. Easy 3 points for us, Sam.
Yeah, there's nothing like having to get a win against arguably the best team in the world right now.
Yeah.
Top of the Prem, top of the Champions League. What did they go? 7 in a row they won in the Champions League and then lost their last one because they were playing their kids.
I don't think they've lost away from home this season, if I remember right.
No, I mean, let's call it call it what it is. Liverpool are a sensational football team with some of the best players in the world in there. The likes of Mo Salah can win games on his own. So, it's. I would maybe change your perspective of, if we're going to finish fifth, we need to win the next 3 games. I'm not saying right off Liverpool. Obviously, go into every, like we said earlier, we turn up against the bigger teams, and we kind of like playing against teams that are going to come forward against you a little bit. But I mean, we have to be realistic. The expectation is that Liverpool in the form of their life, and we're not. So it may be a tricky one, but I don't think either way it will define our season. I don't think it will be the be-all and end-all of making it into Europe for us. It's just a game that, for me, if we can pick up some points, if we can get a result against Liverpool, then fantastic. If not, then we move on, right?
Move on. Yeah. No, it's a fair point. Do you think that there's a kind of an option to sort of throw caution to the wind for Aston Villa for Wednesday night? And also, are we catching Liverpool at a pretty decent time with, maybe not quite firing on all cylinders? Obviously losing against Plymouth, much changed side in the FA Cup, not really looking that convincing against Wolves the other day. Everton getting a draw against them. Obviously we know it's the Merseyside derby, but are we catching them at a pretty good time?
I mean, as well a time as there can be to catch a Liverpool side, right? No, I mean, look, they're a very good team, and on their day they beat anyone and everyone, right? So I think, they're still getting results, although they're not maybe playing as well as they'd like. They still, like I say, they've got the likes of Salah, who's going to score every game, and they've got goals from all over the pitch. Their bench is crazy. They can bring on some really, really top players, and just that defense itself. We talk about Villa's struggle to, this is all football is, but Villa's struggles this year have been putting the ball in the back of the net and keeping the clean sheet. Right? I mean, I know there's not much else to football, but that's been our big struggle this year. And you've got, arguably the best centre back in the world there, and you've got the best forward player in the world at Liverpool. So it might be a long
just remind me who they are again.
It's a bit of Van Dijk and Salah, right? I mean, it's one of those, mate. For me, it's a free hit. And back to your question, whether we can throw caution to the wind. I don't think Unai is a throwing or wind kind of guy.
Yes. Depends if he's had a curry on the Curry Mile in Birmingham or not.
Yeah, I mean, even that, he probably strategically plans out his toilet breaks on the way home, and when he's going to flip his beer and when he'll order a water. I can't imagine him. He feels like the kind of guy who pre-folds toilet paper just so that he knows how many he's keeping track of. He's
Anyway,
I don't know. Do you know what I mean? He's just meticulous.
Yeah. No, I take it. Meticulous.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really understand. I made some comments after the Ipswich game about us being too quick, too hasty. We all have different interpretations of what he meant by us being too quick in certain actions. For me, I think we were painfully slow against Ipswich. I think, we held on the ball so long that we let them get back and, take their shape again, put all the men behind the ball. Every single time we got it, we were just too slow for me. But it looks like Unai Emery thinks we were going a bit too fast or rushing some action. So I don't know. All we can do is trust him. But I feel like we've slowed down so much that we're, I said whilst I was watching the Ipswich game to a mate of mine, I was like, it's like watching Arsene Wenger's Arsenal. We're really trying to walk it into the net.
Yeah, that's the frustrating thing. Yeah,
which is not that kind of team. Maybe we are when we've got everyone back, and you've got Kamara in the middle and Pau Torres at centre back playing those balls. And against Ipswich, those kind of players like Pau Torres would be perfect because we've got what do we have? 78% possession, 80%.
Yeah.
He's going to love that because he'll just take the ball out and he'll spray the ball and do whatever. but it didn't seem to work. I mean, again, we talk like we lost the game. We didn't lose it, but we just
exactly.
Get those 3 points right.
Yeah. Precisely. But like you said, it could be that the space opens up and the likes of Morgan Rogers, Marcus Rashford if he plays, Jacob Ramsey if he plays, they're players who like to run with the ball in space and carry the ball. It could be an option for them, and they're going to be dangerous players for Liverpool to face. Or we know how many dangers they've got: Salah, Diaz. Even I think Gakpo's out actually, but even someone like Darwin Núñez, he did us damage when he played against us at Anfield. Jota, whether he starts or comes off the bench, but as I just said, Rashford, Rodgers, Ramsey in particular, running with the ball with space to go at could be a real danger for Liverpool to face.
Yeah, and I think Rodgers is one of those sort of classic examples. We saw him against Declan Rice, who for me is one of the best midfielders I'd say in world football. I don't know if I'm going too far with that, but I really do think he's up there. Every single time I watch him play, I think it's sensational. And Rodgers had him on toast. So Rodgers, I think Rodgers can come up against anyone on his day and get the better of them. I think he's that good. I think where we're going to struggle is that midfield. They've got the likes of McAllister and Gravenberch and Szoboszlai, and we're just so light in that sense. It'll
be getting the ball. It'll be getting the ball to Rodgers, Ramsey, or Rashford, won't it? That'll be the problem.
That'll be a big part of the problem. And the next one is, you can always count on players like Ramsey and Rodgers and Tielemans, Rashford, Asensio, Marlon, take your pick to create chances, but then you've got to take them chances, right? And
especially in these games,
and this is the thing I was going to say. It's not, it's not like a game against Ipswich where you'll have 6, 7, 8 chances. You might get 1, you might get 2, and then have to hold it against Liverpool. And Ollie Watkins is up front. He got his goal against Liverpool. Well, he switched on for that rebound from Rashford's free kick, but then
Ipswich.
What did I say?
Liverpool. We hope he gets his goal against Liverpool.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
He usually plays well against Van Dijk, to be fair to him.
Yeah, I'll apologise again. I'm so tired. I don't know where I am. When he got his goal against Ipswich, he was switched on, but he had another opportunity where he was through, and it wasn't the easiest chance in the world. But if he gets one like that against Liverpool, we're going to need him to bury it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the concern. I think they, in my mind, they'll have too much for us. There's no way we're keeping a clean sheet because we just don't do that. And I think the way we struggle with goals, even if we do manage to grab 1 or even 2, I just don't see us outscoring them on the day.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult one. And look, we know what Watkins is. We know the criticisms that he gets in terms of missed chances. We know the number of chances he manages to get for himself or even get for other players. But some of the other players need to step up as well. 1 goal from Tielemans all season, no goals from McGinn, 1 goal from Ramsey in the Premier League this season, 1 goal from Bailey in the Premier League this season. It's not enough. And now you're hoping that Rashford comes in and scores goals, Asensio comes in and scores goals, and Daniel Marlon comes in and scores goals. There's a hell of a lot of firepower there, but we've just got to get that supporting cast to be able to just put away more chances.
Yeah, I mean, we had another player in the team who had bagged quite a few goals for us this season. That didn't work out so well, and I think that's part of the concern for me is there's no natural replacement for Ollie Watkins if he's on an off day or if he's not. You can whack Marlon up top, but we saw that it doesn't. I wouldn't say he's a natural striker. He plays better out. Rashford again is not a number 9. That's the issue that he's had at Man United, has been forced to play that number 9 role. So if Watkins isn't doing what he needs to be doing, where do we turn? If anything, it's a makeshift solution. But like you say, I mean, reel off those players again: Ramsey, Rodgers, Tielemans, Marlon, Rashford, Asensio, Watkins. That's a lot of talent there. That's a lot of a footballing ability. It's not I don't look at that forward line and think, oh, we're in trouble here. I think, bloody hell, like if these guys turn on. And I think I've seen that with Villa this year, like some of the Champions League performances, some of the league performances. I just think, bloody hell, we look good, you know. We've got all of the ingredients that we need to really go and do damage to any team. But it's just about whether that Villa's going to turn up. And I think we've seen too many times this season that for one reason or another, whether it's distractions from the Champions League or the FA Cup or, you know, the pressures of replicating what they did last season, I think it's not happened too many times for me to now expect it to happen. We could very well go and beat Liverpool, but I just don't expect it to happen.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and it'd be amazing if we did. I've said it before. I'll be slightly annoyed if we do. I'll be obviously happy, but I'll be slightly pissed off if we do, because it's kind of like you get yourself up for the big games, and the crowd will be up for it, and then, you know, the crowd really does. You know, I don't get to Villa Park as much as I would like. I go to a lot of the away games. I know away atmospheres is great, but the home atmosphere on Saturday was woeful. But we know that it's going to be really pumped tomorrow, because we kind of see ourselves as the underdog, and that's what's going to annoy me, because we could get the result, as you've said there, but then it's about backing it up. It's about beating the teams that you should be beating. The atmosphere should be rocking when we're playing Ipswich or playing West Ham or playing Bournemouth. That's what it should be. We shouldn't be just, you know, expecting to turn up and win. We should be contributing to that process. But anyway, that's me ranting on. Let's get into the predicted lineup, and this is Martin's predicted lineup, and really love these graphics that Mark does for us as well. Would you back that lineup up? I mean, we've got an opportunity. I think Unai Emery, I don't think they will start, but Unai Emery said that Konsa, Cash, and Bailey could face fitness tests tomorrow. They're going to monitor them tomorrow, and, you know, potentially be starting or potentially be part of the squad. But with that in mind, is this a starting lineup that you would go for?
Maybe not in that form though. I don't think Asensio is a right winger. I think he played more as a cam and sort of free roam across that front three. When he came on against Ipswich, Rodgers go out to the right. I mean, Rashford, Watkins, fine by me. I don't think Marlon's done a lot wrong. I kind of expect him. He's had more training sessions with, with this Villa team, and I can see him sort of retaining his place. But I mean, if you look at like the back, we don't really have a lot of options. You know, Mings probably isn't 100%, but may have to fill in. You know, Disasi, thank God we brought him in, right? What would we do now with Kamara out? We probably play Bogard there. I think Bogard actually plays well. I think we need to get some control of that midfield tomorrow. So I can see Bogard playing next to Tielemans in that centre mid, just to regain some, because I think he's quite good there, that sort of CDM role.
He did well against Arsenal at the Emirates. So, you know, why
really
can't
well
he?
Against Celtic until he moved to right back. He sort of controlled that game really well. But I think I don't think he'll drop Ramsey. I think Ramsey's in pretty good form at the moment, and he runs quite a lot as well, which you might not get from the likes of Asensio at the start. So I can see maybe even McGinn going out there, or I think he's going to want to get some control. I think he's going to be more defensive minded. I think maybe Martin's predicted lineup for me is a bit too attacking. Not for me. I'd love to see it. But I think for Unai, it's just not that guy, is he? He's not going to go all out from the start against Liverpool.
I tend to agree with you. I posted in our group, I think with Emery, now he's got the options on the bench. Sometimes the players that come on to change a game are almost more important than the players that you start with. And I think, you know, we're very short-termist, aren't we, as football supporters? And yes, we know Rashford and Asensio had great impacts coming off the bench in both games, really. But one, you're coming off the bench against Tottenham when you're already 2-0 up. Yeah. And two, you're coming off the bench against Ipswich when they've got 10 men, and you've pretty much got carte blanche to attack as much as you want. It's a bit of a different kettle of fish to be coming into a game against Liverpool when you've, to all intents and purposes, had a week and a half of training with Aston Villa to then come in and be expected to start. So I'm kind of with you that maybe one of them starts and one of them doesn't, but I don't think both of them will start. Yeah. And Marlon hasn't necessarily done a lot wrong. He's trained more times with Villa than these two. And Ramsey, we were all raving about him after the Tottenham game, and he didn't necessarily do anything too wrong against Ipswich. It was just that maybe there was a tactical switch that was needed. I actually thought he was growing into the game as that half went on. He was the one who got Twanzebe sent off. So, yeah, I can't see too many changes. Emery's a bit of a pragmatist, and I think he'll want to keep a few aces up his sleeve off the bench rather than start them all and then have to, I guess Rashford's a bigger, at the moment, Rashford seems like he's a bigger impact off the bench than, say, a Ramsey off the bench, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think I mostly agree with what you said. The only thing I would say is when you talk about, Asensio and Rashford and, they came on when we had all the ball against like Ipswich and when we were already beating Spurs. I mean, you've got to remember that these two have seen and done it all in football pretty much. Like Asensio is a 17 major honours trophy winner with Real Madrid. He's been at PSG. He knows the game better than anyone in our team. For damn sure, he's more experienced, even at 27, 28, than anyone else in our squad. I don't think there's any illusions for him as to. He's probably beat Liverpool more times than anyone else in our squad, even though we play him every year. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's a seasoned pro, and the same with Rashford as well. Rashford has played internationally. He's played at a really high level with Man United. He's been a talisman for that team. You got to remember as well with Rashford, it's not just that he played for Man United. He was at a period where they weren't terrible. They finished in second with Oli and second with Mourinho or third with Mourinho, wherever it was. And he was their main man for a club like Man United. Like, these boys know pressure, and Marcus Rashford will know Liverpool better than anyone else as well. So I'm not worried about them getting used to getting ready for the game. Like that's why we brought them in, because they're ready to go. But at the same time, I kind of agree with you that I think it's too offensive a lineup. I don't think Emery will do that, because you make a really good point. We have options off the bench to change a game or to sort of save a game, but there needs to be a game to save, right? If we're already 2-0 down after 15 minutes, the game's over. So, you have to hang in there, and you have to make sure you don't lose the game in the first half. But I would say the dead cert for me, the most important player to be on that pitch tomorrow is Luca Dean, because if Ian Maatsen comes up against Salah, he's going to be sent back to the Signal Iduna Park so quickly. I'll tell you what, he got run ragged by Ipswich, and I think he's going to do very well against Liverpool. And this is a conversation we genuinely need to have as well at some point, Rich, about Maatsen, because he was a team of the year for the Champions League last year. He was very, very highly rated, a lot of money, 30 million quid, and he looks pretty pants, doesn't he?
Certainly defensively, he's not really got going. In flashes he was good at attacking on Saturday, but he's not really got going in an attacking sense as to what we wanted and what we kind of expected. Yeah, and yes, you could talk about Luca Dean raising his performance level, but he's really flattered to deceive for me, Maatsen. And when you're coming on in games and you're getting minutes here and minutes there, I guess the first thing you need to do is get the fundamentals right and get the basics right and start from a decent base, and then you can start to show your game and show what you're all about. If you're letting players have 5 or 6 touches before they then even attempt to think about crossing the ball, and then you just let them cross the ball in, it doesn't bode well. And that's not just unique to Saturday. He's done that a few times, and Villa as a team are poor at letting teams cross the ball in. I don't know what it is about us in terms of our fullbacks not putting their bodies on the line and blocking crosses, and these fundamentals and these basics we don't seem to be doing very well at this season. And we kind of, I guess the goals we scored last season and the position in the league maybe masked some of that last season. I remember Brentford at home when we drew 3-3. I think Konsa let 2 or 3 crosses in and they scored, and we ended up, managing to draw that 3-3. So maybe some of that was masked last season, but it's certainly showing this season because we're just not scoring the number of goals. So, but yeah, Matsson's a big culprit in this poor defensive and lack of fundamental basic defending.
And I think that's the word is basic and fundamental. People are going to misinterpret this and construe this however they want. I played football on Sunday, and there's a guy there called Joe, and he's so skillful. I mean, he's one of those guys who will just make you without you even knowing, and everyone stands off him. And because everyone stands off him, he just pings the ball wherever he wants. He controls the game. And I kept saying to everyone on time, I was like, get tight to him. Don't let him go past you. Like, keep yourself goal side of him, use your body, and just get tight to get into him. Don't give him the space to do whatever he wants. And after shouting at everyone for it, he came over to my side, and I just went in on it. I just went in, and I never let him pass, and I hustled and I harried, and I got the ball off him, played in a simple ball into the middle, and we scored a goal for it. Now, I'm not saying anything about my ability. The point of the story is that
Unai was watching from the sidelines.
Well, I wish he was, because I tell you what, I did a better job than that at the moment. But the point is that is me playing football on Sunday with my mates, and that's the basic fundamental of football. Like, obviously, you have to know when to step off, when to get tight, but to block the cross and to get tight enough. So fine, you don't want to get skinned, and that's why everyone does it. No one wants to get close enough where someone drops their shoulder and they're gone. That is the whole hesitation with getting touch tight to people, right? You know this, you coach football. But if you block off the path from what Maatsen needs to do, is he needs to say, fine, I'm going to get touch tight to you, but if you're going to get past me, you're going that way. I'm going to show you to the outside. I'm going to show you to the byline. I'm going to show you to the corner flag. That's what he needs to do. But instead, what they do is they stand off.
Well, that's exactly what I was just about to say. He wasn't even jockeying, and you're jockeying if you're in proper defensive position and your eyes and shoulders and body positions directed to the ball, and you're looking at the player's feet and how the feet are moving, and you're matching the movement of the feet with your feet, and that's how you jockey. But he didn't even do that. He was upright, and he was just like, I don't even know what he was watching.
He invites it in. He invites that ball in, and
I think he thinks he can get away with it because of his pace, and he sadly didn't.
There's what is it from? I think it's from. Have you seen the movie Goal? Of course you have. It's based in Newcastle. There's that one scene in Goal where the coach tells the Mexican boy to start running, and then he kicks the ball, and he keeps showing him that the ball moves faster than he does. Like, that's the reason he does it. That Maatsen might be quick, but when someone puts that cross, it doesn't matter. He's not outpacing the ball. I know I'm throwing a lot of analogies, and it's very easy for us to sit here and talk like we're experts when we don't play the game at that kind of level. But for me, just to go back to your original point, it just seems so basic. And I don't think Maatsen's the only one who's guilty of it this year, by the way. I've been saying it all year, and you know this as well. Get tight, stop letting the crosses in, get close to him, press. Our press is gone. And I just think, going back to Liverpool, it's going to be, they're a team that will punish you if you don't get tight to them, you don't hassle them, harry them, and make them, if they score, it needs to be an absolute bloody worldy Barcelona tiki-taka. Can't give away, you can excuse those ones. If they just play brilliant football because they're the best team in the world, you can hold your hands up and say, you know what, there's not a lot we can do about that. But cheap, easy goals like the ones we conceded recently, they're the ones that grate me. Those are the ones that get on my nerves.
Absolutely. So yeah, I think you 100%. We have to be. Every player has to be 100% off the ball. More importantly, probably than actually on the ball, because yes, we know we're going to get some efforts, but if we're harrying, if we're pressing, if we are organised, if we're blocking shots, blocking crosses, putting tackles in, the ball will break. We'll get an opportunity for Rodgers to run at someone. We'll get an opportunity for Rashford or Ramsey, or we'll get opportunities to do that. So, but the first thing, the fundamentals have to be right. And if we get those bits right, the crowd will obviously react. The crowd will be on Villa's side. And then, you never know, there could be something special that happens tomorrow night.
Yeah, 100%. And like I say, I think we can do it. Whether we will or won't is a different issue. But we definitely have the ability in the team. We've got one of the best managers in the world, in my opinion. We've got a really, really solid foundation and level of player in there. So anything can happen. I just hope they come switched on. And I know you said that you'd be annoyed if we, didn't beat Ipswich and beat Liverpool, but I just, you just take the points where you can get them, because
it's tongue in cheek, but yeah.
But I know it's this is a very Kev thing to say, but if we do win against Liverpool and you say, look, from Liverpool and Ipswich, you got 4 points, you would have taken it, right?
Oh, and
for me, that's a backwards mentality. Because like, well, no, you beat Liverpool, you should have the other 3. You should have 6.
Yes, exactly.
If you start thinking about it like that, then
I
don't know. We have to get ourselves back into the season somehow. We're running out of games, aren't we?
Exactly. Well, let's get your score prediction to finish round off the show. Are you ruling with your heart or with your head, Sam?
I can give you a score that I'd like to see and a score that I think I'll see, whichever one you want. If I'm being honest, I think Liverpool will have too much for us. If they're on their game, then I think they'll probably maybe a 3-1 scoreline for them. I can see Rashford getting his first goal. One of the new boys, maybe not Rashford, but one of the new boys getting a debut goal, maybe early, maybe we score first. And for them, I don't know, you take your pick. Salah will definitely get one.
Get a penalty.
Get a penalty. And then, they've got quality all over the pitch. They can score from anywhere. So unfortunately, I think we won't have enough. But the score I want to see, I'll give you a 6-0 Villa. There you go. 6 goals probably what can bring the season back on track.
We have Paul Welford, who always comments on our live, who always goes with a 6-0 Villa win. So maybe it's you in disguise on the live shows.
That's for Paul. That one's for Paul. There.
Yeah.
Make sure you super shouts next time.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually go for a classic game and a 3-2 Aston Villa victory.
Okay, but let me ask you a question. Is that what you honestly think will happen? Is that your prediction, or is that what you want to happen?
I can see us winning this game tomorrow.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I really can.
Who's
Ollie, Rashford. I think you're right with that one, and Morgan.
Yeah. A very safe pick.
I think that the running power that we can have, and I just think that we've been a one-off game team this season, and I think that's going to come into play. And I think some of that frustration and some of that anger, coupled with maybe a slight drop off with Liverpool's intensity this season, will set us up for a win.
The last thing I'll say, just in case I'm not on for the next 2 months and something happens, is if Austin McPhee can get back in his box as well, that'd be brilliant. I just like to do a normal corner or a free kick.
Yes, please, can we just put it in the box? Yes.
Too many with one 6'5", the other one 6'6". Can we just whack it in the box, please? Can we just give that a go? Just see what happens. Shots from the free kicks. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, exactly. We've got him now. We've got the man.
We were on the edge of the box. What was it against Ipswich? I don't know who it was, Dino or someone else, and we tried it. Oh my god, you're 20 yards. You're right on the edge of the box. Just have a shot. Surely, if I was him, I'd say to Austin McPhee, "Shut up, mate. I'm having a pop."
Yeah.
Lost your mind. But he's been getting on my nerves as well. Just whilst we're at it.
Yeah, put it in the box and shoot. We saw what happened. We scored a goal off it from Rashford. So, yeah, there you go, Austin. If you're listening, delivery is all key. Delivery is key, but just put it in the box and the players will attack the ball. There you go.
Much nicer than the way I said it.
Yeah. Right. Thanks a lot, Sam. Great to see you. Great to have you back on the pod, mate. You've got to join us much more often when you can. Please, please, please do. Get your comments in the chat. Let us know your thoughts on the starting lineup, who's starting. It's caused a little bit of debate, so please do let us know your thoughts. And obviously, get your score predictions in the comments as well. Are you ruling with your heart or with your head, or do you actually, like myself, think that Villa are going to get a win? What do you think? Let me know your thoughts. Let us know your thoughts. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Help us continue to grow on the road to 6K. And as Sam said, ultimately, up to 10k, and then that's it. That's it. We just get to 10.
Game over.
Yeah, but thank you all for watching. Once again, Sam, thank you for joining me, mate. We'll be back with match reactions and all that jazz, talking tactics, match preview for Chelsea, and everything else in between. So make sure you stay with the channel. Thank you for watching, and as always, remember, we'll follow the Villa.